Good evening, guys. Ready to start? Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the September 8th regularly scheduled Valley View School Board meeting of 2025. I would ask that you silence your phones, rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Member Maduras. The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Secretary, moving down the agenda, what do we got? Hang on. Dr. Wood, the agenda, please.
Do you want to do affirmation?
Oh, yep, sorry about that. Board affirmation statement. Secretary.
Here. Our mission is to empower every learner to be college, career, and life ready and to develop, grow, and achieve as a productive citizen.
There you go. Dr. Wood, the agenda.
Yes, thank you, Board President Quigley. We are seeking the board's approval of the agenda as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving down the agenda, student and staff recognition, no report this evening. Treasurer's report, Mr. Renich.
Thank you. The Treasurer's Action Report for 6.1 for the month of August includes the normal schedule of financial reports, balance sheets, summary of revenues and expenditures, interim obligations, and debt service payments totaling $7,060,992.80 for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
So motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, a roll call vote would be in order.
Member Pipkin?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Shroga?
Yes.
Member Buderis?
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland?
Yes.
Vice President Campbell?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
6.2 is the schedule of bills. The schedule of bills for the month of September, we have 6 funds totaling bills payable of $4,468,150.30 for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Shroga?
Yes.
Member Buderis?
Yes.
Member Pipkin?
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland?
Yes.
Vice President Campbell?
Yes.
President Quigley.
Yes.
In your packet, you have 6.3 to summary of investments for the month of August, along with 6.4 state funding update, 6.5 property tax received, and 6.6 all schools trust fund account activity. This is an informational agenda item.
If you have any questions on those items, please talk to Mr. Renich. Moving down the agenda, Dr. Wood, consent agenda items.
Yes, thank you, Board President Quigley. Tonight, we are seeking your approval of 8 consent agenda items as presented. 7.1, Board Meeting Minutes, August 18th, 2025. 7.2, Executive Session Meeting Minutes, August 18th, 2025. 7.3, Gift to BHS and RHS Science Departments. 7.4, Facility Dog Agreement, Jamie McGee Elementary School. 7.5, Student Activity Contract, Kona Ice, Jonas Salk Elementary School. 7.6, Student Activity Contract, Perfect Pastries, Jonas Salk Elementary School. 7.7, Bolingbrook High School trips. 7.8, gifts to Romeoville High School.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Shrover,
Yes.
Member Buderis,
Yes.
Member Pipkin,
Yes.
Member Hyle,
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland,
Yes.
Vice President Campbell,
Yes.
President Quigley.
Yes. Board liaison reports. Any and all from my right? Any and all from my left? All right, moving down the agenda, we have Jamal TP, Student Ambassador. If you would, please, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jarrell Tipe. I'm a senior at Bolingbrook High School. I first want to congratulate our football team. We beat Simeon on all 3 levels, freshman, JV. Next, I want to put a spotlight on a new club at Bolingbrook, Goals Who Lead, which is, they just hit 120 members, and they're led by one of our student ambassadors, Sharon, over there, and also Reagan Brooks. I think it's amazing to see 2 young black women doing the things that they do in our school. And I think it's even more amazing to see that they're inspiring other girls to do the same thing. So the next meeting is on September 18th. If you want to tell any of your students to go there and be leaders. Also, Best Buddies is having their first meeting on September 18th as well. So tell some students to go help out at Best Buddies. BHS Boys Soccer won the St. Charles North Invite for the first time ever, which is amazing. Right? Our soccer team is great, and they are doing great this season. They knocked off the defending state champions, so they're now one of the top teams in the state. Also, our volleyball team, since the season started, the girls' volleyball team has beaten Hinsdale Central, Nazareth, Neuqua Valley, Wheaton South, Sandburg, and Peyton College Prep. The next game will be on the 10th in our new gym floors against Thornville. So show up for our girls' volleyball team. And then I just want to thank the board for this opportunity to be a student ambassador. I feel like I've learned so much here. And I want to thank my teachers in the crowd. It's so inspiring. It's so great to see all of you here supporting something that you care about. And I stand with you, and I think you guys are amazing. And I want to see you get everything that you need.
Okay, moving down the agenda,
Wait,
audience
hold.
participation.
I know I'm not, right before we participate, I've always got to have a shout out to my ambassadors. I feel a little positive on them, so I'm just grateful and we have a new ambassador here tonight, so welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. So we know we have a lot of speakers this evening. We have a 3-minute time clock. We would ask that you honor that out of respect We don't need personal attacks. That won't be accepted. We respect your opinions very much. We listen to what you have to say. We have taken things under advisement, and we will continue to do so. But again, please be conscious of the 3-minute remarks. And with that being said,
With that being said, I have another comment. Is that we're going to tell you at 15 seconds so that we can. So at 3 minutes, we're asking everybody just to be courteous. And I'm willing to stay here. Somebody don't know, back in the days when I first got here, board meetings lasted 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm here for the game, but I do want everybody to have that opportunity. So at 15 seconds, we will tell you to wind it down. And there is a button over here. Don't want to be rude, but just want to respect everybody. Red, yellow, black, and white, they're all persons in God. I say, let's respect and have everybody. I want all y'all to get up here and speak if you would like. But we want that time, so we want you at 15 seconds. We'll tell you we're going to wind it down, and then at 3, we're going to cut you off. All right, thank you.
thank you, Vice President Campbell. Hi, please state your name, where you're from.
I'm back. Michelle Tampa Avito Martinez, and I'm feeling sassy tonight. Very disappointed. Obviously didn't learn from my lesson on Valley View history. Today's lesson is on value and trust. VVC, do you feel valued? No. Do you feel trusted to do your job? No. Let's talk about value. When you look at this audience, do you see all the experience and education that these individuals have? Let's hear it from the para, security, maintenance, and other supporting staff. You guys are worth every penny. The lack of longevity pay shows me that the district doesn't value you. Where are my first and second year teachers? Thanks for coming aboard, and I am so sorry you have to deal with this mess. Please know that we support you and are proud that you are in our schools helping our students. Part of our fight is to ensure that you get what you deserve. How many of our teachers here are 5 to 10 years? Over 10. Over 20. Over 30. Me. How many of you guys have master's degrees or grad credit hours? Look at the experience and education of your staff, and yet you don't appreciate it. You need to value your employees, and we don't think you do. September 2nd, Human Resources sent out a recruit, support, and retain email to the staff. I'm sorry I had to laugh a little bit. I wonder why you need to recruit, why we don't feel support. Are you having difficulties retaining staff? Let's talk about trust. You just saw all the education and experience that your staff has, yet you don't trust us to create our own lesson plans. We have to follow a script or have the same formatives within a PLC. What happened to differentiation? My students aren't the same as other teachers. And may have different needs. How can a curriculum that is forcing us to all teach the same way be best practice? How does having the same formatives in a PLC be best practice? I would love to see the research. I know. Why don't you trust your teachers to do what's best? How long has it been since you've actually taught? I know, I've got 10 seconds. I stand here with somebody with 33 years of teaching experience in this district, and I have never seen teachers so demoralized about their jobs. It's up to you to change the narrative.
Hi, welcome. Please
Good
state your
evening.
name, where you're from.
My name is Hannah Hernandez. I'm a parent of 2 children in Valley View, both of whom receive special support services. I stood here last month, and honestly, I didn't think I'd be back so soon. I truly believe that by now, our teachers and support staff would have a fair contract. Instead, not only are they still working without one, but the way the district and board have handled this has been deeply disappointing. For a month, you've pushed out carefully worded messages online claiming transparency, while refusing to return to the bargaining table, and then turning off public comments on social media. Families are getting incomplete or misleading information, and staff are getting messages that feel more like attempts to divide and intimidate them than to support them. And now threatening some of the lowest paid staff with having to pay their entire health insurance premiums out of pocket if they strike, while also not being paid during that time, that's not leadership, that's bullying. For many, that would mean $400 to over $1,200 a month just to keep their coverage. That's a devastating burden that could leave their spouses and children without health care. And frankly, it looks like the goal is to scare people into silence. That's shameful. Our teachers and staff wouldn't even have to make such a difficult choice if you weren't attempting to bulldoze your own unsolicited agenda through due process. If there's a strike, it's because of you, the board, not because of our educators. If this is how you treat your frontline workers, the backbone of this district, it makes parents like me wonder how you truly value the children and families you're supposed to serve. You say students need 20 more minutes in the high school day for test scores, yet at the same time you celebrate those schools for being nationally recognized. Which is it? Because the evidence is clear, better outcomes don't come from squeezing in 20 more minutes. They come from safe and supportive schools, access to food and housing security, strong curricula, tutoring, and making sure students and teachers feel like they belong. Instead of forcing through a plan no one asked for, why not invest in resources so teachers don't have to rely on online fundraising for basic supplies?
All right, 9 more seconds.
And if it all boils down to money, how about becoming a better ally and strengthening community programs like food pantries, affordable childcare, disability services, and tutoring resources that actually help our kids succeed? Instead, I see a board member at town meetings speaking out against expanding food resources and food pantries.
Please bring your remarks to a close, ma'am.
Money trying to look like wealthier neighbors, and we're not Naperville, we're Valley View.
Please bring your remarks to a close.
To what our community wants.
Please bring your remarks to a close. Ma'am, please bring your remarks to a close.
You will continue to fail the people you are here to serve. It's not, if that's too hard for you all to hear to act on, then we need new leadership.
Thank you, Mrs. Hernandez. Hi, my name is Allison, and I need to look at my notes to see who I am. I'm a parent of a BHS student and a paraprofessional at Pioneer in the Stellar program. I'm here today to advocate on behalf of all teachers, paraprofessionals, related service providers, security, and maintenance. While my high schooler has personally experienced caring and enthusiastic professionals who mean the world to us. And everywhere from Kristen Jones, who pushed him through kindergarten and COVID 4th grade, Adam Toss, who made running fun. I don't know how, but he does. Dr. Rotelli, who made math fun. And when my child was struggling, she called me at 7 o'clock in the middle of the week to check on not only my child to see how he was doing, but how we were doing, managing. These people mean the world and deserve every piece of fair contract that they can get. As a parapro, I've worked with people with disabilities for over 30 years, and this job is probably one of my favorite jobs. Now, any of my coworkers at Pioneer can tell you, you'll see us running down that hall after students to keep them safe. We have a pond at our school, a pond, with kids on the spectrum. Every day, it is our job to make sure that our children are safe and not running to that pond. It's hard work. I've been kicked, hit, punched, just about every physical aggression, but I come back every day because these kids mean the world and they deserve our time. I'm asking you, because I could get a job anywhere. I have a bachelor's degree and years of experience. I could get a job anywhere, but this is where I belong because these kids need me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. President Quigley, Superintendent Wood, Board of Education members. My name is Julie Haas. I am a teacher at R.C. Hill. I am also the product of Valley View School District. I respectfully ask you to give me your attention during my time at the podium. I respectfully ask you to not have your attention diverted by your electronic devices at this time. I ask that you look at all of these stakeholders in this auditorium and to think about the stakeholders that are sitting across the hallway, in the cafeteria, in classrooms. These are the people you answer to. You are elected or hired to represent all stakeholders, the families, the community, the taxpayers, and the employees of the Valley View School District. And at this time, we are feeling disrespected. I want you to look at the people that you are supposed to be making decisions in the best interest of and remember your purpose. You need to make choices and decisions in the best interest of our students, our families, of our community members, of our taxpayers, and of our staff, so that we have what we need to be effective in each of our roles. Lately, your communications to stakeholders have been through social media, except for the conveniently timed email to staff from, quote, strike info, unquote, email on Friday, September 5th at 4:31 p.m. that details information about what is to happen in the event of a strike happening, signed respectfully, comma, and then blank. No names. Not even having the decency or respect or the rule of formal letter signing to sign an administrator's name or General Board of Education signature. You sent this email to instill fear and scare tactics with subliminal messages of division. Your voice, your choice of words were condescending. You hide behind the emails. You hide behind the Facebook post. You hide behind the tool allowing you to hide all the comments and block some of the stakeholders from posting more comments, because the truth is you are not making best decisions in the best interest of the stakeholders of this district. Everybody in this room is a stakeholder, and they all have a story, and it is your responsibility to help make the best decisions in all of our interest, all stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. State your name, please.
My name is Cindy Villalobos. This is my 22nd year teaching 8th grade language arts at Humphrey Middle School and my 25th year in education. Let me start by saying to our school board and district administration, how dare you? In my 25 years in education, I have never felt more devalued, witnessed such hypocrisy, and read so many half-truths as I have in recent months. One of those half-truths was shared with the community on August 26th about so-called evidence that supports a period being added to the high school schedule. The information shared says that the added middle school's daily support period, which includes advisory and future ready classes, is the reason ELA achievement has grown dramatically since the 2018-2019 school year. Again, how dare you? Do you really think that students sitting through lessons about the stock market, credit scores, and networking is the reason 66.9% of 8th graders were college and career ready on 2024's IAR exam? The real reason our scores have increased is because teachers and staff work their asses off. Humphrey's 8th graders alone increased 23% on the ELA portion of IR that year. 23%. That means that 72% of 8th grade students met or exceeded expectations on IAR at Humphrey. The 8th grade language arts teachers took a subpar curriculum and enhanced it with more engaging texts, demanded more from our students than what the district requires, and differentiated lessons to meet our students' needs, something you are currently taking away from teachers by wanting carbon copy grade books and lesson plans. And speaking of future ready, I teach both 6th grade and 8th grade future ready classes. Included in the modules for both grades are lessons on being an effective communicator and writing professional emails. I find it incredibly hypocritical that many of the people sitting on the stage do not exhibit the traits of being an effective communicator, such as using eye contact and giving undivided attention. Yet we are expected to teach this to our students. Once again, how dare you? And just this past week, I taught a 6th grade future ready lesson on writing professional emails, including proper greetings and closings.
15 seconds.
How ironic that our council received an email from the district on Friday that ended with just the word respectfully, followed by a comma, and then no names or groups listed as to whom it was from. And since I brought up hypocrisy, as a language arts and future ready teacher, I teach my students about digital citizenship and to have academic integrity. I find it ridiculous that the same cannot be said about the school board and district administration, since you clearly used AI to write the email you sent to Valley View staff.
Please bring your remarks
One
to
more
a
time,
close.
how dare you? To Valley View families,
Can you
students,
please
and the
bring your
community,
remarks to a
this is
close,
just a
ma'am?
small portion of what many teachers and staff are feeling. We truly want what is best for our students, and we appreciate your support more than you know.
Please bring your
To my
remarks to a
fellow
close.
Valley View teachers and staff, I applaud your dedication. I am a proud member of this council in unity.
Good evening. That's going to be hard to follow.
Okay, but before you speak, please, no disrespect, but I would just like, let's just, it's your turn, you'll get it, and I'll give you an extra minute for that if you would like. But what I want to do is that my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren are listening to that. If we could just please refrain. I'm telling you, I'm here for the long run, but please, if we could refrain from profanity, if that's what I'm asking.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Williams. I teach at BHS. I was not going to speak, but seeing my former students speak last week, and many of them are here tonight already in line, how can I not? I've been in this district for 14 years. I love working here, and I would consider myself a lifer. I've been in rooms with many people, from admin to other teachers in the district. I've been a part of countless committees and curriculum work. I've even spoken up here to you all before at a board meeting regarding proficiency-based grading. What I love about this district is that many of the things we implement and push are based off of what research says is best for kids. I would consider myself to be someone who shifts their thinking based on research. Some of the best professional development I've gotten has been right here in this district, to name a few. Common formative assessment, research-based. Hattie's visible learning, research-based. Responsive classroom, which literally changed the way I teach, research-based. Grading for equity, research-based. Innocent classrooms, research-based. Those are things I've been a part of in this district. But one thing I can't seem to find research on is this proposal for a potential 7:10 start time. Is this decision being made off of research or off of feelings? If there is research and I'm wrong, I would love to learn about it. I understand there are other elements. We want to get 0 hour to be part of the schedule and provide more access for students to get other supports, but I can't wrap my brain around how I am going to effectively teach curriculum in 46 minutes. I have a unique perspective. I spent 11 years in middle school. This is my 3rd year at BHS, and I must say it was hard to adjust going from 80 minutes with block scheduling to 54 minutes teaching the exact same curriculum, figuring out what takes priority, and is this a matter of quantity or quality? And I'm struggling with that. I have a lot of questions. I preach to my students that mistakes are okay, mistakes help us grow, and I often make sure I publicly point out my mistakes to them in class so they know I am human. So maybe this was just a mistake to rush into this without our input. So I ask that you please postpone this idea of adding 20 minutes to the high school day until you could give us a clear plan and give us the research that supports that this is what's best for kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Karen Bernstein. I'm the mother of 2 class of 2025 RHS graduates. My daughter, who was an RHS Writing Center tutor last year, has been made aware of the extra 20 minutes the Board of Education plans to add to improve test scores. And this is what she had to say. She thinks the board should really reconsider their priorities and take a look inside the classrooms and curriculum, especially for English. Now that she is in college, in the honors college, might I add, she needed to learn APA formatting, something that was not taught to her in AP English. As a tutor, she has seen a very distinct difference in the good work produced in standard versus honors and AP level classes. The honors AP work looks more appropriate for college, whereas the standard level is very basic and would maybe get a C grade in college. It appears the board also potentially needs to reconsider the school rules, as it seems that they have allowed students to pass English even when their essays are 2 weeks overdue, and retake essays by writing the exact same for all of them, just reworded differently each time. It appears that VVSD only cares about passing kids in good test scores, not what is happening inside the classroom. Want to improve the scores? Overhaul your curriculum and force students to actually do the work. That was written by my college daughter who graduated in May. On a personal note, having twins in the district from age 3 till May of this past year, these teachers deserve the world and more. Some of these teachers we're still friends with, our family is friends with. They came to my kids' baseball games. They called us in the evenings if the child had a rough day at school. These teachers deserve it, and you guys should really listen And again, someone said it before, with all the electronics and everyone looking down, you should be listening to what they all have to say.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Gura. I've been a Romeoville resident for 25 years. I've had kids in the Valley View School District for 16 years. I would like to start by saying our teachers have been amazing. They are the heartbeat of our schools, and they deserve to be supported. We need teachers who want to show up, not those who feel defeated as a result of these negotiations. Our administration and school board needs to listen to its teachers. They are the boots on the ground workers who know their students best. As parents, we know that teacher workload continues to increase as they are expected to provide differentiated learning while addressing students' social and emotional needs. Our teachers work hard at their jobs, and it shows. Both Bolingbrook and Romeoville high schools have ranked among the top 18% of Illinois schools. At Romeoville High School, our students had historic AP results. The College Board honored more RHS students than ever before as AP Scholars with honor, and AP Scholars with distinction. There's always room to improve, but if this administration cannot compromise with its teachers, our teachers will strike, and that will affect our students. Students in those AP classes will lose out on valuable learning. After all, the exams, which can earn them college credit and save families a lot of money, are still scheduled for May. Our students in fall sports will suffer. Many students are hoping to earn a college scholarship to continue their athletic endeavors. Students in extracurricular activities will suffer. I serve as the secretary of the Romeoville High School Band Boosters Board. At RHS, we have 125 students in the program who have been working on their field show since July. Did you know that on Saturday they won grand champion at their first competition? You should have seen the excitement of these kids celebrating with one another. It was beautiful. These fall activities only last until October. To the board, to the district administration, don't steal these opportunities away from our students. Recently, a nearby school district, Naperville 203, wanted to implement big changes to their school day. They wanted to add more minutes to elementary school and change the start and end time across all levels. It did not have the support of the parents, the students, or the teachers. District 203 realized that teacher and parental support was needed to make these changes. If the district believes it is a good idea to add 20 minutes more to the high schools, it needs teachers and parents who agree. Right now, they do not. Parents feel blindsided by these changes, which will impact thousands of families. Valley View is set to get a new superintendent next year. Let the new superintendent make these major changes, and let the new superintendent seek stakeholder feedback so everyone is on the same page. In the meantime, listen to your teachers.
Hello, my name is Lucy, and I am here to represent my school, Independence. I really care about my teachers, and they deserve everything that they're asking for. And I rise for justice. And I'd like to say that I do not think the high schoolers should start like 20 minutes earlier. Come on, that's just me. I have a lot of friends from high school. That's just mean. Boo. No high school earlier. I'd like to say thank you for your time and full attention.
Thank you.
And I want to say hi to all the teachers that helped me through this experience. I'd like to say hi to my kindergarten teachers and my first grade teacher, Mrs. Ruiz, and my second grade teacher. Oh, and my kindergarten teacher was named Miss Cat. Woo! This is one of the best experiences of my life, and I really like having to talk to you all. And I would like that you would not let the high schoolers start 20 minutes early. That's kind of mean. They're already starting pretty early. I don't think you should make them start any earlier. Trust me. My time's almost up, so bye.
All right, I'll make comments after that one. And a child shall lead them, and she followed the rule because that's what her first grade kindergarten teachers taught her. So let's continue to allow the children to lead us.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Kelly Chavoy. I have a son who is a senior at Romeoville High School and a daughter who is a sophomore in college. My husband and I are also products of Valley View. In fact, we were the last group of students to experience year-round schooling in this district. We chose to raise our children in this district because of the fantastic experiences we had growing up in Romeoville and Bolingbrook. Our kids have also had these positive experiences here, largely due to their involvement in the band programs, sports, other extracurricular activities, and advanced placement courses. Through these programs, they have made connections with teachers that have had a lasting impact. We have 2 generations of teachers at Valley View to thank for these opportunities, and that is the main reason I'm here, is to support the teachers. I have been a high school math teacher in a neighboring district for 29 years. For 19 of those years, I've taught a group of students who start their day at 7:20 a.m. and another group of students who start their day at 8:20 a.m. There is a huge difference between the readiness to learn between those 2 groups. The students who begin at 8:20 are more likely to absorb the new information, more likely to participate in class, and more ready to collaborate with their peers. They are awake and noticeably more energetic. Anyone who has experienced daylight savings time or a flight to a new time zone knows you can feel the difference of 1 hour, and the teens feel this early morning hour even more than adults. At my district, there are early release days each month in which teachers like me, with an early start, work 25 minutes longer than the other teachers. We are compensated for the extra time that we work on those days. If the 20 minutes are added to the day at our high schools, the teachers must be compensated as well. With the programs in place already, I do not see a need for the extra 20 minutes. Students have access to tutoring and remediation during their advisory period. Teachers work with students after school, and there is online preparation available for ACT. Finally, in my experience, 47 minutes is not enough time for a math class. I teach 55-minute classes and cannot imagine losing the time that is needed to interact with each student and provide enough time for assessing their knowledge. Regarding the outcome of this contract, teachers and the support staff will continue to put in extra hours for their students because that is what they do. They chose to work in Valley View because they care about our children. I ask you to compensate them fairly and listen to their needs. They are the experts. Thank you to the teachers of Valley View who have impacted my family from 1979 to the class of 2026.
Hi there, I am Kate McConnell. I am a familiar face. Board members, Dr. Wood, and to all of my beloved members of the VVC Council, it has been my pleasure and honor to address this board several times in the last 2 years to speak out in support and celebration of some of the amazing school staff members who have supported my family and helped my children flourish. So tonight it saddens and angers me to no end to be here having to do it again under these circumstances. But given the indifference and disrespect I've seen certain members of this board show to speakers, myself included, I can't even imagine what our council's bargaining team is seeing behind closed doors. Let me be clear here, as a parent, a taxpayer, and a voter, every single member of the Valley View Council is responsible in some way for the future of our communities. These are the people who are caring for our children during the day, feeding them, keeping them safe, setting them up for their futures. They deserve our respect, our endless gratitude, and our full support during this struggle. They deserve for this administration to stop the bullying and start treating them like the trained professionals and priceless assets that they truly are. So I'm here tonight, and for as long as it takes, to have the backs of people like Mrs. Rappel and Mrs. Walters, who my son might actually like more than he likes me, and Mrs. Molina, who actually got him to enjoy physical activity, Mr. James, who the kids just call him by his first name, who shows up and greets every kid with a smile, even though he knows, as the security officer at Pioneer, that he is the first one in danger in the event of a threat. And I think about that every time I go into that school and see that young man. Nurse Karen, who calls me when my babies aren't feeling well. Mr. Kruger from Brooks, who beautifully maintains every inch of that school and probably doesn't even know that I noticed him helping incoming sixth graders learn how to open their lockers a few weeks ago. Every single para at Pioneer who has had to help with my half-feral second grader. I am so sorry, you guys. And a teacher I will keep anonymous who reached out to her network for support to make sure one of her students had clean clothes to wear to school. I may look like just one mom up here, but I promise you, I speak for hundreds of moms in this district. Know that we are mobilizing to support all of the members of this council through whatever comes in the next few weeks. Continue to do battle with them at the bargaining table, and we will raise you an entire war fought in the trenches of a picket line. VVSD parents, staff, community, I don't know about you, but I've had enough bullying for a lifetime. Mind sharp, spine straight, chucks lace, let's do this. I'll see you on the pavement.
Good evening, my name is Stacy Gattano. I'm in my 20th year in Valley View School District. I teach honors biology and zoology at Bolingbrook High School, where I'm also the head Scholastic Bowl coach. My kids over there. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller here. The only other school board meetings I had any direct involvement in were when I was recognized as a pillar of Valley View when those recognitions were given, and when the curriculum for zoology was up for school board approval, as I had spent the previous 9 months writing, rewriting, planning, and organizing it. I've never really felt compelled to speak at a school board meeting until tonight. But I recognize that I am perhaps in a bit of a unique position. From the district's negotiating team, I taught one person's child and another person's stepchild. Currently enrolled in one of my classes, I have the child of a Valley View principal, the child of the director of data and assessment, and the grandchild of a former superintendent. So I am indeed connected to many of the senior leadership and school board via the education of their family members. And I feel very fortunate to have taught these students and every other student I've had the pleasure of educating these last 20-odd years. Perhaps this will help humanize the, quote, other side by putting a face with what we are going through. My insurance covers my husband as well as our 6-year-old and 3-year-old. One of my family members requires an important medical procedure that has been scheduled for September 17th. So please, if you will, imagine my panic when the email came in at 6:02 p.m. on Friday discussing changes to insurance coverage that would happen should the VVC strike. I now understand that the procedure, which would have been absolutely unaffordable out of pocket, and I'm a double master's and this is my 20th year here, and it would have been unaffordable out of pocket, it will still be covered. This was confirmed not by the district's communication, but by the IFT lawyers. Now imagine my feeling at this point, disheartened that such a tactic would be employed to try to scare members into changing their votes. That this might sit okay with the negotiating team to have one of the teachers who has been entrusted with the education of so many over the years, wondering if the surgery of an immediate family member needs to be postponed because of a possible work stoppage. I wonder how the information sent by the district, unsigned by any entity at all, is supposed to help the school board fulfill its main function, which is to provide, local citizen control over public education, representing the community and its aspirations for local schools. This school board represents the interests of more than 15,000 students, and I am personally struggling to see how an AI-generated letter that implies alterations in insurance coverage, in combination with the proposals that include a start time that flies in the face of scientific consensus, a lack of competitive pay in all staff categories, and the continued loss of educator autonomy, is this at all being done in the very best interests of our beloved students? Thank you.
Good evening. I'll do my best to stay at 3 minutes, but I think you'll get the point in the time I'm here. My name is Jill Stowers. I'm a parent in the school district and have one child who is a VVSD graduate and 2 students currently at BHS. I taught high school chemistry for 12 years before taking a season off to be a full-time mom. For the last 3 years, I've come back to education in a part-time capacity, working as a guest teacher in VVSD, mostly at the high school, but also at middle school, STEP, and even a few days at the early childhood levels. And I've enjoyed it all. I'm wanting to address the VVSD board and administration tonight because I am concerned that there's a growing lack of communication, transparency, and effort being made to seek out, understand, and incorporate the input and opinions of our teachers, students, parents, and other community stakeholders in the decisions that are being made. Instead, it feels as if senior leadership compares us to neighboring school districts, wants to be more like them, and creates an agenda to move us in that direction by finding research to support their viewpoint and interpreting statistical data in such a way to prove their point. We are tired of administrators wanting us to be more like Plainfield, Oswego, Naperville, or other surrounding districts and making decisions that don't reflect the different desires for the communities of Bolingbrook and Romeoville. Using one example, this was brought up earlier, in a recent Parent Square update in regard to contract negotiations, the district expressed concern over low ACT and SAT scores. The claim is being made that the district proposal to add 20 minutes to the high school day in the form of an 8 rather than 7 period schedule will help to improve said test scores. The district states that they have evidence that this change works, citing the increase in the 2024 IAR scores in ELA for 8th graders as a result of this added 20-minute advisory support period to the middle school schedule in 2018. Any critical thinker has to wonder how this correlation was made. It makes us feel that the district is looking for statistics, even if they are stretching them, to prove their point that aligns with the changes they want to see happen, such as these additional 20 minutes and 8-period high school day. I think that if you ask teachers the reason for lower standardized test scores, they would likely point to 2 major things. First, the movement toward heavily inquiry-based curricula at the expense of eliminating more and more direct instruction that follows logical scope and sequence that's necessary to build foundational skills for our students. And second, the forced implementation of standards-based and proficiency grading. Both these things were pushed by district admin and approved by the school board. For clarification, for the few of you that might be here that need this, standards-based grading is different than standard-based curriculum. Educators agree that curriculum should be tied to standards, but the practice of standards-based grading and reporting is typically only done successfully at elementary level and is not appropriate for middle and especially high school. But VVSD administration requires teachers to use this type of grading at all levels. And even though the implementation of these curricula changes and standards have not shown the overwhelming success as hoped for and that's created new challenges and struggles for both teachers, students, and parents, and district senior level administration for years now continues to push this agenda in spite of criticism from all the stakeholders, and even some building administrators are frustrated by it. And research is starting to show that these educational initiatives are not as helpful, equitable, or progressive as they once were thought to be.
Please
So I
bring
hope
your
this helps
remarks
you
to a
understand
close.
why the union is scared to put any kind of stake in these new ideas of 20-minute add to the school day, because there's no level of confidence that there's an ability to do that well. Thank you.
Hi there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Kavanaugh, a sophomore at Romeoville High School. Let's talk about the 8th period, because it's one of the most tone-deaf decisions I've ever seen so far. Who actually thought this was a good idea? Who did you talk to? Because I can tell you right now it wasn't the students. We weren't asked, we weren't warned, and we definitely weren't respected. You didn't consult us, you made a decision behind closed doors and expected us to just go along. We are not just data points in a spreadsheet. We are people with lives, goals, jobs, families, and yes, limits. You talk about preparing us for college and careers, but how does that work when we'll burn out before we even graduate high school? To disregard our input, to dismiss our voices so casually is not just a mistake. It's a direct assault on what a foundation for a student-centered education should be. Let's stop pretending this is just some harmless scheduling adjustment. It's not. It's a massive disruption to our lives, our health, and our ability to stay engaged in school. You didn't ask us, you didn't listen, and now you expect us to be okay with a change that will not only hurt us in the long run, we're not okay with it. We're angry and we have every right to be. If this district actually believed in student-centered education, this never would have been brought up without our opinion. You throw around all these nice-sounding words, empower, listen, support, and let's call it what it really is, performative nonsense. You don't care about students. You don't care about students. If you did, we wouldn't have to be standing here right now fighting for our voices to just be heard. You dismiss us, you ignore us, and then act shocked when we're pissed off. We're not asking for the impossible, we're asking to be treated nicely, the bare minimum. You want us to respect you? Why should we? You haven't earned it. In fact, you've done quite the opposite. We're all fighting for a fair contract and fair lives, yet you deny it and make absurd requests. We're done being quiet about it. We're not going to sit by while you pretend everything's fine. We're going to speak, we're going to push back, and we're not going to stop until real change actually happens. I won't be saying thank you. In fact, you should say it for educating you on what we think. Clearly, with your use of AI, you needed it.
Good afternoon, school board. Geez, I'm not gonna lie. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, I think I'm talking to supervillains, not a school board. I'll be honest with y'all. I charged my phone too this time, so y'all not off the hook. All right. 2 weeks ago, when drafting my speech, I had a section towards the end addressing the extra 20 minutes that was proposed for the beginning of the school day. Now, if you actually paid attention and remember what I said, you know, due to my rush of emotions and forgetting most of my words, I never actually got to that part. Luckily, all these wonderful speakers today and last time voiced concerns loudly against the idea. Last time I spoke, I asked you to think deeply to yourself and understand who it is you really strove for. I challenged you to rethink the model you boldly claim. I made you look me in my eyes and told you that without teachers and staff, this district is nothing. Although I still believe it, there were people I forgot to mention, people that you have refused to acknowledge or consult countless times from a community I'm a part of. If the teachers are the pillars and backbone of society, then we students are the ones who breathe life and push a new frontier for this district. And we are extremely angry and disappointed in the decisions this board has continued to make. Since the moment this change had been proposed, it's been a next to unanimous wave of students and staff against this 20-minute change. A lot of the student body already believes that school is too early as is, and an extra 20-minute pushback would make school life even more stressful. I have a friend who's an AP level student, has to wake up extremely early to get ready for school and take care of her dog, catch a bus that comes at 6:40 a.m., come back to school late to do the practice from extracurriculars, shout out the band, and sleeping late into the night after 12 because of school workload. Rinse and repeat. I know so many students, including myself, who have to make the decision of, do I prioritize sleep tonight or do I get all of my work done? Do you honestly think that's great for the students? For the last week, the earliest she had to been able to sleep was around 2 a.m. after completing the homework for all of her classes. She knows the track she's on is rough and extremely stressful, but in order to be successful, she's sacrificing a lot to do well in school. By supporting the decision to add 20 minutes, you basically believe that those who chose to be rigorous students should suffer more and have to sacrifice more past a point that's unhealthy. You might look at me like I'm crazy or insane, but that is the cold, hard truth of what will happen, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my good friend Patience for allowing me to share her story. Hope you do well on that AP pre-calc test. But unfortunately, she's not alone in the suffering you plan to inflict on us students. The bus schedule, if our school decides to go the 710 route, could see bus times as early as 6:15 to 6:25 a.m. Kids who routinely wake up at 6 would have to wake up at 5. And people like me who wake up at 5 a.m. would have to wake up at a tiring 4 o'clock in a.m. In what world is this okay? Any of this. You decide to go through with a decision that no student was consulted on, and with the decision that is going to hurt every student you claim to support. I followed the development of this issue for a long while now. I've read and dissected almost every... Huh?
Wrap it up.
No, I'll speak. I'll speak.
No, you will be removed.
Hold on, you lost my train of thought. I've read and dissected almost every single one of the updates you put out, using the skills I was taught as a Valley View student to break down and assess what it is you proposed. August 22nd, 2025, you put out a message with statistics that showed how a time change could work when you tried it on middle schoolers. You said English language arts state assessments have risen from 40.7% of 6th grade students meeting or exceeding standards in 2018 to 66.9% of 8th grade students in 2024. Statewide data on the mathematics assignments continue to lag
behind. Can you send
behind.
your remarks to the board clerk so we can all read those, because you're going so fast I can barely hear you? Please bring your remarks to a close.
I was trying to speak at a normal tone. You told me that I got too much time. Hold on. Okay. My bad. Now I got to find my train of thought again. My bad. Hold on. Where was I?
Bring your remarks to a close and then make sure we can see everything that you have.
What you say? Repeat, please.
Please bring your remarks to a close and give her a copy of what you have so we can all read it.
Can I finish? I wrote this to speak. Are you even gonna read it though? You sure? I don't think so.
Good evening. My name is Art Tansel, and I am going to yield my microphone time to this fine gentleman.
Thank you. All right, where was I? See, y'all should have just let me speak. Hold on, I gotta find this. Okay. Statewide data on the mathematics assessment continue to lag behind pre-pandemic levels. However, middle school has demonstrated growth each year since 2020. There are so many things wrong with this statistic, and I think since I'm learning about this stuff, I should be a little bit of a teacher and take y'all to school to break this down. So let's have a little school lesson, shall we? The biggest issue with your data is the fact that there are so many unknown variables that you failed to address. You compare the scores of 6th graders in 2018, before the time change went into effect, to my class, the 8th graders of 2024, but failed to realize the variables such as different classes, what we experience, how my class never experienced a time change and took completely different tests than 2018. You didn't even give a statistic for mathematics, which shows that you don't have proper data. You felt like you were backed in a corner and found the first thing that made your proposal seem legitimate. And it would have worked if I didn't have the skills, the wonderful teachers I had taught me. Shout out Miss Bradley, shout out Miss Slattery, all my teachers, yeah. Oh, and my speech coaches too. If you truly cared about the well-being of students in our district, you'd understand the true issue with the lack of college and career readiness is, this y'all boogie word, the scaled scoring. The way tests our scores aren't truly preparing kids for materials that's learned. In no world should a kid getting a 4 or 5 out of 10 on a test scale up to a 73, a passing grade. That child doesn't truly understand the material and is only passing through a system once the tests aren't scaled. Passing through a system. All of a sudden, once the tests are scaled, the scores are low. In an effort to leave no child behind, you left the preparation and readiness of that child in the dust. Me, everyone here, everyone watching, refuse to stop fighting this unless you decide to listen to the people you were elected to represent. We will never stop fighting for every learner every single day, and I'm not saying thank you. Bye.
Good evening, school board. My name is Madison Fuhr, and I'm a sophomore at Romeoville High School. My mom is a teacher at Iron King Elementary School. She's been teaching for 20 years, and in that time, my mom has endured constant stress and disrespect from children. Yet I'm here fighting for my mom's right to a fair contract, when that should be the bare minimum when she's willingly teaching disrespectful kids. I honestly think that all forms of teachers, security, lunch aides, and many others who work hard to keep schools running should have a fair raise and should gain the same respect as doctors and police. But that's not a conversation y'all are ready for yet. As I conclude this statement, I'd like to leave you with a few questions. What are your real motives here? Is this really for the benefit of staff and kids, or is this a selfish act of your own gain? You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Baresh, and this is my second time up here speaking. And I'm gonna keep this short, but it's not gonna be sweet. The last time I was up here, almost half the board was not paying attention to what any of us were saying, students, teachers, parents alike. And you guys talk about respect, and you want our attention when you guys are speaking. And you spend the money on pouches for our classrooms to keep us off our phones, money that could have been going to the teachers and the staff members. But when we come up here and talk, it seems that all you guys have to do is just stare at your computers. It's almost as if technology is an issue for you guys too. Our teachers deserve the respect, and they are not getting it. You guys need to actually listen to what my fellow students, what my teachers, what the parents are saying, and give these teachers the raises that they deserve for all the work that they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I am here tonight as a parent of 3 children, and we have been in VVSD for more than 15 years. We moved to Bolingbrook for the schools, and I have never once regretted that decision because of the extraordinary teachers and staff who have lifted up my kids and my family every step of the way. When I think about their time at Jamie McGee, R.C. Hill, Jane Addams, and Bolingbrook High School, I don't just remember grades or test scores. I remember teachers who stayed late to make sure my children didn't give up when things got hard. I remember staff who noticed when my kids were having a rough day and stopped to offer kindness. I remember the heartfelt calls home, the encouragement, the small moments of care that have shaped the way they show up in the world. I remember the extracurriculars that gave them family outside of home, opportunities to lead, and a sense of belonging in the world. These things don't show up on a spreadsheet, but they are things that last. They are love, they are expertise, and they are the true heart of education. We cannot keep asking these dedicated people to give endlessly without giving them what they deserve in return. They deserve to be compensated fairly. They deserve to be respected by this district and this board. And they deserve our trust to do what they know how to do best, to teach, to nurture, and to keep safe not just my kids, but yours and every child in our community. These teachers and staff are shaping the future, one child at a time, and our actions as a district need to show that we value them as much as they value our kids. We owe them more than thank yous. We owe them respect. We owe them fair pay. We owe them the trust to do their work with dignity. If we don't stand with our teachers and staff, we fail our children. Thank you.
Can you state your name for the record?
What was that?
Thank you.
Good evening, board, and I can't remember the word. Good evening, board, and thank you to all of the teachers who took time out of their busy schedules to be here. My name is Isabel Scott, and I am a current senior at Bolingbrook High School. I would not be who I am today without the support of every teacher I've ever had. I'm extremely grateful for all of these educators who have done so much and sacrificed so much for me to be here today. It was Ms. Zider who helped me learn to read when I couldn't. She fought for me to get the help that I needed. I could not have been as successful as I am today without her. It was Ms. Manzour who noticed how much I love math and made learning math something I looked forward to every single day. And because of her, I'm on track to become an engineer. It was Ms. Rupsis and Mr. Hannerhoff who gave me a love of music. They gave me a community in a school where that is so insanely important. And now I'm drum major. That's crazy. And I will continue music for the rest of my life. Don't think I won't. These are just a few of the incredible educators who have made me, well, me. Without them, I would be in a much darker place. Miss Broman was the best coach for swim, not only because she was amazing at coaching, but because she cared. Cared like every single teacher and educator in this room and in every building in this district does. I'm insanely proud to be an ambassador because I know that I speak for countless kids who can't be here tonight when I say I'm disappointed. Disappointed in how my teachers and educators have been treated in this district who have been treated poorly by this board. 20 minutes could possibly raise scores, but they will definitely hurt kids and teachers. However, I am happy to say that I'm a student of VVSD, and proud to say that because of these amazing teachers, paras, security staff, lunchroom staff, counselors, and deans, you have made these last 13 years of my life worth every single second. Thank you.
Hello again, everybody. I am Hayden Danielle, and I'm up here again, not this time to critique the ongoing negotiations, but I'm here to share my utmost appreciation for the absolute miracles that our educational support staff. Thank you, Ms. Jones, Ms. Mantuka, Ms. Kozlowski, and Ms. Crooks at Jonas Salk for making it possible for me to be the student and person I am today. Without their care and unwavering support, I can honestly tell you I would not have the courage to come up here today. Thank you, Ms. Villalobos, Mr. Volantino, Ms. Fagan, Mr. Schrader, Ms. James, Ms. Coy, Ms. Sawashik, Mr. Stroman, and Ms. Williams, and so many other teachers at Humphrey Middle School who set me up for a path of success in high school and who offer me unconditional love that only could be found in the four walls of a classroom. Thank you, Ms. Cacciuni, who guided me through my first ever AP class. I would never have scored a 5 without you and your leadership. I would have quit if it wasn't for you showing me the joy and challenging myself. Thank you, Ms. Clifford, for teaching me what it means to be a teacher, and who was my inspiration for wanting to go education myself. Thank you, Ms. McDermott, for providing a sanctuary within the pages of books and the walls of the library for every learner and every day. Thank you, Ms. Jones, for being the teacher who listened to me rattle about books and my passions. It is those moments I cherish the most. You cared beyond what your paycheck gave you. You taught me the importance of thinking for myself and not AI. Thank you, Mr. Ploger, for teaching me the importance of communication and honoring everyone's opinion. You cannot impact change if you ignore the other side, especially when the other side is holding up the board you are sitting on. Lastly, thank you, Ms. Timmer, Mr. Steffos, Ms. Sonsek, Ms. Graberg, and all the paraprofessionals at BHS who are the unsung heroes of BHS's multi-needs program. Day after day, you show up to care and teach for the most high need and vulnerable groups of students. What you taught me is unimaginable. You taught me resistance, persistence, and to have unwavering strength no matter the challenge ahead of you. I am forever grateful for the influence you have given me. I will carry it with forever. The educators made the most impact on me, not because they saw me as a test score, a letter grade, or a statistic, like many people believe students to be. They looked beyond that. They saw the kid who was afraid of her own abilities and built her up each lesson, every time. You made learning fun and exciting while also pushing us to be our best. You made it possible to envision myself as a doctor, president, engineer, or teacher. From the bottom of my heart, I sincerely thank you for showing up for us and displaying the greatest amount of courage I've ever seen. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I will stand with you. I will support you, and I will never blame you for fighting what you rightfully deserve. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Corey Hunt, and I'm a junior. I'd like to first thank the teachers here today that have helped me become who I am. When I first moved here, I knew no one. I was scared and I was alone, and the teachers I have had since my freshman year helped me come out of my shell. They offered to eat lunch with me when I was alone, came to see my theater performance, and talked to me when I was upset. I'd like to shout out Miss Williams, Miss Spurdy, Miss Suffren, Mr. Morrison, Mr. Wayne, Miss Sterner, Mr. Fisher, and more. Those teachers have gone above and beyond the responsibilities given to them and actively continue to every day for every student. On the other hand of the teachers, there's the board. That I am grateful here to speak today, especially Miss Pipkin, who has been the only board member to respond with respect to me. Every year at our grade school meetings, our school shares the statistics of AP classes, extracurriculars, and more. A group of my friends came to the board with how we as AP and art students felt in an email, and the response given to us was, quote, "May I ask, have you considered students who are not in AP or the arts? I am praying that we are trying to serve all." While I 100% agree that we should serve all, that is not what I came to the board for. I came as a student who is in those programs they promote in their proposals. If the board cares so deeply about serving all, why not address that in the proposals posted? Why only bring things up that look good for them? Instead of listening to our concerns, they pushed it aside to focus on reasons to object us. We came with how we feel and what we go through every day, and the only response we get is dismissing it to focus on other students who our school doesn't actively promote. If you want to continue to say in the proposals that this new plan will help scores increase, listen to the students who are actively living that life every day. Our teachers do and work around that for us instead of ignoring our concerns. There's been so many times where I've gone to my teachers and said I had a lot on my plate, and they helped me work around my schedule. If they could do that out of the kindness of their hearts, which is more than they're paid for, you can listen as well. Listen and give to the students, the parents, and most importantly, the teachers. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Phil Stowers. I'm a parent of a 2023 Bolingbrook High School graduate, and I'm also the parent of a senior and a sophomore at Bolingbrook High School. Our kids attended Independence, Jonas Salk, and Jane Addams, and during that time, we did our best to get to know the staff at those schools. I'm also a high school teacher in another district and can speak from that experience as well. My message tonight is primarily directed to the school board and to the community, and if I had to boil it down, into one sentence, I would say it is this: trust and respect the teachers as professionals. I'm going to speak more generally tonight since it's not my intention to target any individuals, and in fact, a good district needs good administrators in order to function well, but I'm afraid that this district is making some big mistakes as it relates to financial decisions affecting teachers. According to a report called Back to the Staffing Surge by Dr. Ben Scafidi, a professor and director of the Educational Economics Center at Kennesaw State University, educational funding has some interesting trends which I'm going to summarize so that I don't run out of time. One of the trends is that increases in educational spending have been increasing at an extremely high rate, but most of those increases are not going to classroom teachers and classroom instruction. They're going to other things instead. And actually, during the time period of 1992 to 2014, adjusted for inflation, classroom teacher salaries actually decreased 2% nationally. That doesn't even take into consideration the high inflation rate of the last few years. The district claims that many of their decisions are to help increase student test scores. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, in the past 25 years, the number of public school students in this country has grown by 5%. In that same time period, the number of teachers has grown by 10%, but the number of principals and assistant principals has grown by almost 40%. The most shocking number by far is that the number of administrators in general has grown by 95%. During this period of time, despite the increase in spending on new administrative positions, nationally test scores have not gone up, nor have graduation rates, nor any other measurable sign of improvement for students. I would ask the board to consider, is this true of Valley View as well? If this district is going to spend money on anything, I want it to be on something that directly benefits our children. So, what does increase student achievement? I only have a few seconds left, but one thing that research has shown helps improve student performance is having quality teachers that engage in high-level instruction and have high expectations. Let me get personal here at the end. My kids have had so many great teachers at Valley View, and I worry that with the current climate regarding the contract negotiations, we will see more teachers leave the district for one where they feel more trust, respect, and appreciation. I urge the district to do what they can to negotiate in that spirit. Contract negotiations are rarely about something as simple as money.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Ventura. I am the state senator in the 43rd District. My district houses several of Valley View schools, and this is simple for me. I'm a daughter of a teacher. So I want you to take a few seconds and look out at your well-trained, highly qualified staff in unity. You can see and hear the passion and the anger of the speakers before me because they feel like you don't have their backs, and you're supposed to be here to support them. The people that you are meant to support not only are teachers, but they touch the lives of so many parents and students and future workers. Those people have long memories. As an elected official, I know that we work to serve the people, but I also know that you can suspend the rules for special occasions to listen to everything every one of these speakers has to say if you so choose. This was a moment to do that. Your school board meetings do not typically look like this. It is important to listen to your stakeholders and take the time. But it's not only listening, it's working in partnership with them, especially those who pull the most weight in our communities, like our educators. Like I said before, teachers are not just the backbone of the communities. They're not just one vote, but they are a network of people who they touch their lives every day and so intensely that that passion translates into thousands and hundreds of votes across the district. When school boards don't listen to their teachers, teachers go on picket lines, and when that happens, and it usually ends in a contract for the teachers and a turnover of board members. But you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. You can just ask the brand new board of Joliet District 86. Also, when boards in general don't listen to their residents, I have a reputation of helping support candidates who will respect and honor the backbone of the community, and I am happy to walk thousands of doors, educating the voters on how elected officials fail to listen to their constituents, fail to respect and honor those who are the backbone of our community. I want to congratulate Naperville for coming to their senses, and I'm asking this board to do the same thing. The state has increased your funding year after year for our schools. In fact, $350 million increase year after year after year. Again, this is simple. Pass a fair contract without the added compensated 20-minute time, and send these teachers back to the classrooms to do what they do best, educate our youth. Thank you.
Hello, Valley View Council. My name is Holly Mason. I'm a lifelong resident of Bolingbrook. My husband and I live in Bolingbrook. I teach kids that live down the street from me. I teach at Pioneer currently. I grew up behind Liz Campbell. We were neighbors. I've taught children of two people sitting on this board. And I can tell you Bolingbrook is not happy with you right now. But I didn't even plan to speak tonight. The only reason I'm down here, well, I waited in that line for an hour. The only reason I did that was because my friend with my same initials, HH back there, Hannah Hernandez, didn't get to finish speaking. And it's interesting to me that only a woman was not allowed to continue speaking. You want to finish it, Hannah? All right. So her last two paragraphs say, this district, oh, this is for you. This district spends too much energy trying to look like our wealthier neighbors. We are not Naperville districts. We are Valley View. And until the board listens to what your community clearly is saying we need, you will continue to fail the very people you're here to serve. And as Hannah closes it out, it's hard to hear, I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak for you. If that's too hard to hear or too hard to act on, then maybe it's time for new leadership. Leadership that puts students, families, and staff first. Thank you. Wait, can we do that thing? In unity.
Hello, board. Again. Hold on. Stay hydrated up here. Okay. Let me know when the clock starts. Good evening. My name is Alberto Lopez. I'm a parent and a community member in this district. And I'm speaking tonight on behalf of many families who signed the recent change.org petition. We've heard powerful comments tonight about how decisions around time, contracts, and respect for teachers and paraprofessionals impact families and students. And I want to add that leadership decisions, including the superintendent search, carry the same weight. They shape the culture of trust in this district, and that's why I'm here tonight. This petition was created just 24 hours ago. In that short time, 221 people now, parents, teachers, and staff have signed their names. That level of response is extraordinary. Good job to the community. It demonstrates both the depth and urgency of this community's concern about whether this board is acting in a fair and impartial manner. Our concern is not about personalities. It's about process, transparency, and the appearance of fairness. Parents and staff have observed negotiations handled in ways that we can trust. Now we see our superintendent search being conducted in a manner that raises additional questions about transparency and accountability. Trust is the foundation of this district's relationship with its families and staff. Once that trust is broken, it is extremely difficult to rebuild. There are also reasonable community concerns about overlapping roles and professional entanglements. When those with influence in one area are simultaneously involved in other sensitive areas, the public is left to wonder whether decisions are being made independently and in the best interest of students and the community. The principle is simple. Leadership must not only be impartial, it must also be perceived as impartial. When overlapping responsibilities or relationships create even the appearance of a conflict, public trust is undermined. This is not about politics or power struggles. It is about children. When governance is clouded by mistrust, perceived conflicts of interest, and closed processes, our children bear the cost. They lose stability, they lose opportunity, and they lose the faith that institutions around them operate with integrity. The superintendent search is one of the most consequential decisions the board will make. It must be credible, transparent, and above reproach. Looking ahead, it is also important to recognize the optics of impropriety. If this board moves forward with business as usual and the superintendent search results in the appointment of someone already entangled in conflicts or ongoing litigation,
Please bring your remarks to a close, sir.
the community will see the outcome as opposed to compromise from the start. The path would only deepen mistrust rather than restore it. Therefore, consistent with the petition signed by over 200 families in just one day, I urge the board to remove the identified members from the superintendent search. Their continued involvement guarantees that any outcome will be questioned. If the board wishes to restore confidence, the first step is to insulate the search from the appearance of and the possibility of conflict. I got 3 more lines. As a parent and community member, I stand united with the many families, teachers, and staff who are asking for accountability, transparency, and integrity. Tonight, I add my voice to that call. I ask you to put children ahead of politics, transparency ahead of secrecy, and impartiality ahead of overlapping interests.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Layla Kapmeyer, and I am a proud Romeoville High School security guard. Yes, a proud Romeoville High School security guard. And I believe I am the first security to speak. It's kind of shameful and embarrassing seeing that I do have 5 other colleagues having to work here, probably requested by the administration. Yes, we are fighting for a pay. Do you guys understand that there's districts that are close to us that pay $25 an hour to $30 an hour for security? Yet our security guards are at $25,000 yearly pay. Can you guys imagine what 5% increase for some of these individuals means? That's right, only taxes. taxes. We're not paid $100,000 like some of the individuals around here. We are paid chump change. Yet we are asked to sit in the front windows, asked to stand in the board meetings, asked to go outside and work outside duties for what? $25,000 on a B scale. Very. So I saw that you gave us $3 extra second year, but yet I am one of those 3%, and I guarantee you there's more than 3% of us who are going to be affected by the insurance. It is going to be many of us. Many of our specialists are not covered. That means our deductibles are going to be doubled. Our family deductibles are going to go from $1,500 to $3,000. Yet, most of us are married. That means most of our spouses have to pay for their own insurance. So if that is going to be the case, I ask you to remove the spousal exclusions. Now, I did have a speech ready to go. Unfortunately, I left it at home. Mind you all, I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning so I can open up the building at 6:30. So my first bus can arrive on time at 6:40 and the kids can get inside. 6:40. I'm an 8 hours individual. I work 8 hours. The 20 minutes does not make a difference to me, but it does do to our students. You know what's really sad? I had a student approach me and say, "Hey, Layla, I don't know how I'm going to get to school if the school gets so early. I have siblings that I need to prepare. Daycares don't open up that early." I know, sweetheart. Do you guys understand that our government officials don't start till 9 o'clock, so why should our children start so early? Clearly, they can't make the law so early. Why are my children asked to be there so early? Come on, step up. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Devon Maxey, and before I actually start I'm actually only up here just because I'm inspired by my great mom, who's actually even able to come up here and speak herself, Coop, and she also wanted me to say, but I also wanted to come up and say too that thank you for the bus drivers as well for showing their support as well too. Now, I will keep it brief just because, like I said, I'm here for support of those who had a big impact in my life, including the teachers from Pioneer Elementary School, Brooks Middle School, Romeoville High School, all had a big change in my life, and this isn't to call out, but Dr. Wood, I was also a part of Brooks Middle School when you started there as well too. It's unfortunate that this is how we're able to speak to one another, but I just want to also say that I've been in this district for a very long time to see some of that change, and also the teachers that I was able to at least learn from helped me in a very dark spot to be able to figure out what I want to do in my life. And because of what they were able to put into when I was at high school, middle school, and elementary school, I wanted to help out because I believed that maybe there was a bunch of students that wanted to figure out where they wanted to go to after, or even during that time. So, of course, when I heard my mom saying about all these different things that she didn't feel was fair, or also even told me that isn't fair, I want to give my straight up support because these aren't just my mom's friends, but also those who actually cared for me as well, too. So, I want to say just straight up, with my time, thank you all for everything you have done for me. Even those who didn't directly affect me with the school and everything, my mom wants to support and love you all, so I love you and I will support you just the same as well. Thank you.
Good evening, VVC. Good evening, board. I'm D. LaRon Maxey, preferred substitute at Brooks Middle School. All right, so hold on real quick. I do want to say a couple of things for everyone here. Listen, I understand we are all frustrated. The last couple of meetings that we have had, We've had people come up here and throw insults. I don't think that's the way to get this done. We need to communicate with each other, which means transparency and respect on both ends. So I think we should stop doing that, getting up here and insulting them, because none of us have sat in those seats. Now, with that being said, I ask that every person that gets up here is given the same respect that I'm being given right now, because I see a lot of eyes on me. This is wild. I came up here just to say not only that about the insults, but as a result of the people here, I am where I am today. My brother just got up here and spoke. My mother also spoke. Shout out to Coop. But we are only 3 voices for many voices in here. If there was no issue between us, we would not all be here like this. Because of people in this room, I went to Pioneer Elementary School and Brooks Middle School before leaving to Hampton, Georgia to go to Lovejoy High School, graduate from Savannah State University, and then move on to Shanghai, China to teach English to kids in Shanghai for 3 years. I watched COVID happen. I was over there experiencing it while people were watching it on TV. And because of the integrity of the teachers and administration that I had growing up, I was able to survive and come back to teach kids and tell them every day that I get up and come to work that they are the future. Not only that they are the future, but they can be anything that they want to be. I tell them every day that if Elon Musk can shoot a rocket up in the sky the way that he did and catch it the same way that he shot it up, that they can do anything. So it is up to all of us to come to some consensus or some type of agreement. It is unacceptable that it took for insults to be thrown or people to come up here from the community, whether it be parents, teachers, administrators, or any type of staff that have come up here to express their frustrations, and it got to this point. Somewhere along the lines, this has failed. So this needs to be diminished, and we need to start again. Now, I say that, and shout out to all of the teachers that I did have in middle school and elementary school, because they put the battery in my back so that I have the battery to give to the kids that I teach every day. So, with that being said, please let us respect each other, but find a way to fix this, because this is unacceptable. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind attention. Last year, I went to a training sponsored, I'm Mary Jane Wolf at Hill. Okay, pardon. I went to a training sponsored by this district for peacekeeping circles. For those unfamiliar, it is a practice in which student voice is honored and validated in order to build relationships and repair harm. Its core philosophy is that with honest dialogue and vulnerability, a common ground can be formed, relationships can be restored, and peace can be reestablished. In contrast with the recent board and senior leadership and Strike Info, they've shown us the opposite of these philosophies with demonstrations of disrespect and intimidation. A great harm has been done. I walked past a poem painted in the hallway of our building entitled, "First the Heart and Then the Mind." I carry a notebook given to our staff from our dear principal with an inscription of a famous quote from Theodore Roosevelt. Part of it reads, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again. And if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his peace shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory or defeat." I ask this board and senior leadership to remind themselves of our core values and district mission. Search your hearts and minds and come back to the circle to make peace and repair harm. Get back into the arena where your united community awaits. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jason McConnell, Bolingbrook resident and proud parent of 2 Valley View students. I am coming tonight because I'm disappointed the district has stubbornly clung to their odd demand that the high schools and the high schools alone start classes 20 minutes earlier. National Institutes of Health have found that later school times correspond to improved attendance, less tardiness, less falling asleep in class, better grades, and fewer motor vehicle crashes, in addition to improved mental and physical health. Valley View schools already start earlier than most other districts. Why, in the face of all available evidence, would they want to make that worse? This plan also increases teacher workload. An extra 20 minutes a day might not seem like much, but over the course of a 180-day school year, that's more than 60 hours, equivalent to 8 extra work days. Who in their right mind would agree to something like that? They did, in their last contract. So why, what did they get in return? Okay. Vague, unplanned responsibilities, and now demands that they do it again. If you want them to work longer hours, pay them for it. Neighboring districts with longer hours also have higher pay. A 5% raise isn't a raise at all when you're being asked to work 5% longer days. You've heard from a lot of speakers tonight. Your staff don't like this plan. The students don't like this plan. The parents don't like this plan. It seems the only people who like this plan are on this stage, and I don't think it's even all of them. Are you really going to force a strike that impacts tens of thousands of students, staff, and family members over a few people's bad idea? I sincerely hope not. But rest assured, if you do, the entire community will know who is responsible. Thank you.
Oh, that is difficult. Okay. My name is Catherine, and I am an ELL teacher at RHS. This is my 7th year teaching, and I've been in this district all 7 of those years, with a new curriculum almost every single year. I want to speak to the specific experience of my multilingual students. In the 7 years that I've been working with multilingual students, I've seen our number of students skyrocket, while the amount of support my students receive goes down every year. As district pushes for carbon copy grade books, I'm enraged, frustrated, and disgusted that my students are erased in all of their experiences, their needs, and in the data that we so often hear about. The only reason these students do not fall through the cracks in a curriculum that was developed without them in mind is because of the dedicated work of the multilingual teachers at every single level in this district. I know that I care about my multilingual students, and I know that every single one of them cares about them. But do you? Thank you.
My name is Suzanne Anderson Hurdle. I am a Romeoville resident for I don't even know how many years. All 3 of our children went through the Romeoville side of Valley View School District. Over the years, I have been to many meetings. The last time I was here to support our friends in the LGBTQIA+ community, and I stand here today. I have 4 quick things that are in my mind today, not in any particular order. Number 1, I'm deeply concerned about what's happening in the Chicago area with regard to our immigrants and immigrants' families. It is a real, I don't know what's going on in the district to protect our children and families affected by that, but I would certainly hope that we are doing everything we can to make sure that they are protected and safe, and that they know that they're safe when they are at school. Number two, I'm deeply concerned, and this is nothing against the current person who has this role, but it's stunning to me that here we sit a year later and we're going to hire another superintendent when we lost a woman who was doing a fine job And I've been around here long enough to remember when we were told that we didn't need to have somebody K through 8 and or whatever it was, when we didn't need to have two people, it could all be in one role. And then that year too, we got rid of a really good administrator who was a woman, and we hired some men to come and do it. I guess it takes two men to do a one-woman job. What can I say? I don't know what the process is now, but I was involved in the process of hiring at the high school level when Mr. Kinder received that or got that role. I heard the conversation briefly about transparency. With everything going on in our district, I certainly hope that you all are including all of the stakeholders for who this next person will be that takes the role of superintendent. A year in and done is not good. Thirdly, quickly, it's on my heart. This is the week of 9/11, and there's so many of our kids who don't know a darn thing about that, which is maybe good, maybe bad. But I want to honor all of our first responders who are working so hard to keep our communities safe. And my final thing, I cannot tell these teachers, these staff members enough how grateful I am for you and how shameful I feel that these people are making these decisions that are counter to everything you do and are good at, and they are not for the benefit of our children. Period, and stop. I hope and pray that you will listen and go home and watch and listen again, because what they are saying, you need to hear. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Amelia Boomker. I stand here with my oldest child, Danny. He has been in Valley View since aging out of 0 to 3 after his hearing loss was first diagnosed in February 2008. With an array of health accommodations needed, he is still benefiting from the quality educators and staff at the STEP program over 17 years later. Whether working with his hearing itinerant or getting bused with other deaf students as a group to the cluster school in Joliet by dedicated VVSD bus drivers, Danny and his 3 younger siblings have had experience in many different VVSD programs, from athletics to Scholastic Bowl to choir and band to the Challenge program to the CARES program. My youngest is in 7th grade now, so I still have many years to go as a VVSD parent. How many of you on the board have teenagers? While some kids are thankfully early risers, that is definitely not the rule. I got lucky with half of my 4 that way, sometimes. Other districts, including recently Naperville 203, have decided to at least postpone an earlier start to get input from teachers and parents and gather more info. VVSD should not force this 7:10 start in as part of the contract. It is not required and not supported at this time. The argument that adding an 8th period would be universally helpful is ableist, ignoring that many kids and teens have difficulty with transitions. IEPs frequently have accommodations to help those kids with ADHD and or autism with those transition issues. This is why block scheduling is actually helpful at the middle school level. Making classes shorter and adding more transitions to the day is going to cause more problems, not fewer problems for those kids. This would reduce times for questions during class time and cause an increased need for off-hours question for which teachers are not compensated. Right? Danny and all of my kids have benefited from far too many dedicated and caring teachers and staff to name them all. We trust the negotiating judgment of Valley View Council, especially Jared Ploger. Danny's favorite teacher for many a year and former Scholastic Bowl coach. We support VVC in unity.
I also have something I would like to say. Okay. I have something I would like to say as well. So, Dr. Wood, I met you once at Wilco. My teacher respected you and considered you a very powerful advocate for the rights of students who were often ignored, such as minorities. So, and I met you, and I thought that you were also that way as well. So, are you that way? If so, show us. That's all.
Hello, my name is Allison Humphreys. I've been up here once before, earlier, for supporting LGBTQ rights. And this time I'm here to support all of our teachers and for a fair contract, because I believe that making the time earlier in the morning will not only disadvantage the students, but as well as the staff, because I mean, I have some friends who already wake up at 4 in the morning to get ready and take a shower, simple things like that, take care of their family, and then they go to school, usually at, sorry, I'm really anxious. But I constantly feel the support from every single one of my teachers, though I feel that I often have had to pay very close attention and find more information on the quote-unquote transparent information that we've been given on the website, and I couldn't decipher any of that. So I had to go search through Google to find different sources in which were actually speaking about what was going on. And once I learned what was going on, I knew that it was important to speak here, because I know that all of my friends, my family, my teachers do not support this. And that for my school specifically, I go to 2 schools. I go to Bolingbrook High School and High Road School of Naperville, which is a therapeutic day school. And I am integrating back, which means I take 3 classes in the morning and the rest are at my other school. But if this time was moved further, I would have to just prepare earlier, and changing schedules is very difficult, especially, I don't know, at least from my point of view, it's very, very difficult to have even just small amounts of change. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Allison, for your courage.
Thank you all for your comments. Trust me, it's not falling on deaf ears, even though you may think so. Moving down the agenda, as long as my computer stays up. Human Services Report. Ms. DiDonato.
Action for 10.1 is to approve the Consolidated Action Report for Certified, Classified, and Administrative Personnel. The administration is respectfully seeking your approval on all items as presented.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Member Pipkin?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Strova?
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland?
Yes.
Vice President Campbell?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Dr. Wood. Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Polson, middle school bowling teams.
Yes, action item 12.1 is being brought forward for action this evening. It was brought at the last board meeting for seeking your approval for our cooperative team agreements for one in each community for bowling for middle school.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, there is. I just was asking, why were we looking to make 2 teams, and would there be a financial impact?
Yes, so looking forward to make 2 teams because at this time we only have 1 team for the district, which only allows for 8 of our students to go to sectionals. This would allow for doubling that for our students across both communities. And the financial implications, actually the current leader of this group for the bowling team has done a great job. Coach Martin has done a great job of negotiating some fees for alley fees, so actually there will be a decrease in cost.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure that was known. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions on bowling, roll call vote, please.
Member Strova?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Pipkin?
Yes.
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland?
Yes.
Vice President Campbell?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Dr. Wood, board policies.
Yes, thank you, Board President Quigley. Last month, 7 board policies listed were presented as an information report. The updates are a result of a regular review of board policies and/or recent changes in the school code as outlined in the accompanying memo in your packet. We are seeking your approval of the policies 5.150 as amended, 5.170, 5.180, 5.190, 5.185, 5.200, and 5.210 as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Strova?
Yes.
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Member Pipkin?
Yes.
Secretary Sutherland?
Yes.
Vice President Campbell?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Dr. Wood, Superintendent's Information Report, update.
Yes. So my update tonight highlights some pretty cool things that are happening across the district, and what we'll refer to as taking classrooms to community and making those connections either on a global or local scale. At A. Vito Martinez, you see students utilizing maps and some data to make to draw conclusions. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And at Irene King Elementary School, we see a student locked into learning. And we also had a pretty cool opportunity for the Romeoville community, specifically and RC Hill students. They were able to get out and watch the parade of the Vietnam Memorial coming through to be housed at Romeoville Village Hall as one of the many stops along the way. So pretty cool experience for our students. I just want to remind our community to look for us at the parades, and featured you see here some phenomenal marching bands, Bolingbrook and RHS. So we look forward to going out there and being a full support to them in the upcoming parades for both communities. And also a reminder, Pastor Suzanne mentioned Patriot Day, and it's something that's happening September 11th. Patriot Day is observed annually, and it is a day for the United States to honor the memory of nearly 3,000 individuals who lost their lives in the 2001 terrorist attacks. It is recognizes the bravery of our first responders and reflects on the sacrifices made by those who lost their lives. It is also known as the National Day of Service and Remembrance, encouraging acts of service and community involvement to support victims and honor the spirit of unity that emerged after the tragedy. Many of our schools will hold memorial events, and all are invited to join as you're able to. Specifically at Irene King Elementary, on the 11th at 9:30 a.m., you can meet in the parking lot for their annual memorial event, which is quite remarkable. Some important upcoming dates: September 10th is early release. Bolingbrook Village Parade is on the 14th. Romeoville Founders Day Parade is on the 21st. And September 22nd is our next board meeting. That brings me to the close of my update tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Response classroom, Dr. Polson.
Yes, information 14.2 this evening, bringing forward as an information item, looking to continue our work in a consultative moment and professional learning for responsive classroom. Responsive classroom, actually, we had a staff member just mention it this evening, is a research-based K-8 approach that supports teacher effectiveness, creates culture in the classroom, and raises student achievement. So the proposed plan is continued for the training of new staff and continued training, as well as continuing this work that started in 2018. And the administration will bring this forward at the next board meeting for your consideration for action.
Thank you. If you have any questions or comments on that, talk to Dr. Polson. All right, moving down the agenda, Valley View Council, Local 604.
I have to say first, before I begin, it's awesome to see former students and current students doing the things that we want them to do, right? Being active and expressing themselves. So thank you to them and their bravery. We appreciate you so much. It's all been said at this point. Over 90% of our membership voted. 96% of them voted to authorize a strike. Before Friday night, I could tell you that despite that vote, 100% wanted to avoid a strike if possible. Now, I still believe the vast majority of us do not want a work stoppage. Friday. Sad. Unity has never been higher for VVC. And yet it saddens me to no end when I hear teachers who have been here for decades talk to me about how they've never seen morale this low in September. Here are some facts. High school students in the state have come forward to try and move the state to a later start time. A later start time. High school students in this state came forward, engaged their state legislator, wanted a voice, demanded to be heard, and what did they ask for? A later start time. The district and school board proposed moving high school start time from 7:30 to 7:10. It's the opposite of student voice, the opposite. 67% of the high schools that ranked above us in this state start later than we do now. 86% of high schools that ranked above us in this state start later or at the same time as we do now, 86%. 93% of the high schools that ranked above us in this state start at 7:20 a.m. or later. I spent a whole weekend doing this. They'll tell you, 96% of the high schools that ranked above us in this state start at 7:15 a.m. or later. 2%, and they're all in one district, of the high schools that have started as early as the Valley View Board proposal of 7:10 a.m. would start earlier at 7:05 a.m. Side note, not all of their high schools rank above ours. What did that one district do to get there? What did they do? They spent months creating teams at the various high schools and district-wide. They gathered voice from multiple different types of stakeholders. They did the work up front, not at a bargain table. This is despite the fact that one of their high schools, as I stated, is actually ranked below, and they still gave a double-digit raise on top of that. That's how they got it done. It's not what I'm asking for. I know the reality, but that's what they did. This was said. I asked, "You sure you want to go this route?" I think maybe it was took it the wrong way. I genuinely sat there sad and asked that question. When your staff and students and community members repeatedly tell you exactly what the data across the state indicates, that student success is not directly correlated to earlier start times, what has the response been? Some of this we've gone over. Told students they can't run a Q&A session with school board candidates and get involved with actionable civics on the local level. Told students not to bring signs or speak at a board meeting. Told students they should support you. You didn't ask them for their voice. You told them. Showed the staff how you feel about them with a very threatening email on Friday night. And I know you were working on it all week. I'll get to that later. Because here's the thing, we have allies too. We hear things. We know. It is village, right? You got two villages. I'm a small town guy. I grew up in a small town. You do realize you can't keep any secrets here. I mean, I don't know. It's funny to me. Village, not a city or a village, but nonetheless. Blamed staff for not working overtime at the home football game. Threatened to not make up missed school days to delay teachers' retirement. That's not going to recruit well. Stripped educators at all levels of their academic freedom, whether it's their grade books or their classroom routines. We hear you. I hear you. They hear you. Voice, we hear. The top 10 high schools from the state of Illinois, with the change from early release to SIP days, which both sides have agreed to, our instruction time is actually longer than 2 of them, and within 13 minutes of 3 of them. You've got to actually dive into their schedules. You can't just look at the start and end times. What will you find in those? Well, you'll find full lunch periods for some, late starts for others, teacher days that are actually shorter than ours, believe it or not. Got to do the research. And that's the point. The research hasn't fully been vetted. I want to personally thank those administrators who have approached me and stated they support us. I want to thank those administrators who are horrified about being kept in the dark sometimes, and other times at what they are seeing. We see you. We know you. And yes, we hear you loud and clear about the fear you are also experiencing. And for that, I'm sorry. I do want to pause and thank our bus drivers. The first people every morning who are directly responsible for our students. And let me tell you, I'm sure they've seen some crazy things out on the roads, so, whew. We want to give a few voices here. One is a parent who approached us, one is an elementary teacher in our district, and one is a former student. First, the parent quote. The district is quoting Future Ready as a reason for high middle school test scores. It's a joke. A parent who has extensive knowledge of it in 2 of our buildings. Second, from an elementary teacher, the district is all about students. Well, I was one of those students that was born and raised here, being in VVSD K through 12. I came back to give back, and yet I am taken for granted and not valued. All of us are hoping it doesn't come to a strike that stops instruction, but my students and my colleagues need better. Third, a student. And this one, I've been very blessed with many great students and great families, some of them here tonight. It's always tough for me to get through some of these because I'm reminded of some of those trials and tribulations that I've been there with through with some of them. I'll get through it. Here we go. From my former student. I've been trying to keep up with what is going on with VVSD and VVC. I will definitely try my best to come support tomorrow. I'm so extremely proud of you and all of my former teachers. The headway you guys have made and are continuing to make, and the strength you guys have to not back down. Just the 8th period addition alone is absurd. Most of us struggled with the 7:30 to 2 school day, with activities after school and having a job. I used to have practice from 2:30 to 4 and then work from 4 to 9:30. There's no time for students to slow down, specifically those involved in extracurricular activities and work. I would get maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and most of the time I wasn't able to get my homework done, and this was 7 to 8 years ago. I could not imagine having another class added on, creating more homework, less sleep, and definitely upping anxiety and depression levels in teens. Thank you for standing your ground, and not only for the staff, but for your kids as well, as you always have. That's unsolicited. Of course, somebody's not going to believe me, but please throw it out there because I guarantee my students, I know, they know I don't ask for anything solicited at all. We hear our students every day. Good leaders listen. Good leaders don't put their head down when their stakeholders come to them with real conversations. Perhaps my voice is not important. It's fine. It isn't about my voice. I tried to say that from the get-go. This is about us. And so perhaps this time we will be heard. But if not, this council will strike on September 18th. And as I said, my voice really doesn't matter. Theirs does. And here's the reminder. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? In unity.
Office Personnel Council, no report, or do you have a report? Transportation. No report? Oh, you do, I'm sorry. I'm sure if you're...
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'll try, guys. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher Asaro. I'm a bus monitor for Valley View School District. I'm also the president of our local ASME 3057. We represent all the bus drivers, monitors, and the dispatchers for the district. I have my executive board up here with me as well, and they're also our fellow bus drivers and monitors. We also have fellow bus drivers and monitors in the crowd. Like any family, disagreements happen. But in the end, families find solutions. I'm asking that our Valley View family do the same here. We ask that both sides can come to an agreement so that we may continue to provide for our students, families, and community. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Any old business before the board this evening?
I have old business. I had brought up a question last board meeting regarding a policy change. I do want to let people know this is in regards to spotting child abuse and training regarding that, and I was asking why did that policy change. I just want to let you know that that policy was changing so that we can make a system that's more cohesive, where if there's a Title IX a grievance, that it's all housed in one policy. But I did ask that question because of my background as a family law attorney, and I just wanted to make sure that our teachers will continue to get, not just our teachers, but our staff will continue to get trained the way we need to. So I just wanted to let you know that that was answered. It will be addressed. It's not finalized yet, but it will be soon. That was one follow-up. And then I did ask the question as well of our administrators regarding the pay, because I know there was a question that was brought up also at the last meeting regarding how much of the pay was for teachers, how much was for administrators. I do want to let it known that I did receive that number. It's not in a pie chart at this time because I just have the numbers and the percentages, however, and I wanted to be able to share that with you all. We do have that teacher's salary and benefits is about 45.5%. Admin is about 16.75%. Maintenance is 9%. Office personnel is about 7.7%. And then it goes down from there, obviously. I want to say also transportation comes out to about 6.9%. And then our parapros is about, if I have this, reading this correctly, is about 4%, if I'm reading that correctly. So I do want to just say that I do have those numbers. If someone would like them to, unless there's some, I don't think there's anything preventing me from sharing them, but they can be shared. I know that that was a question and people wanted to know like how much of that, so I did get that answer and can share it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. And then one more thing, I know that I was typing after, but that's because I take notes. And I don't do as well if I write on paper, because that paper, I'm not a paper person. But I do take notes because I am hearing you, and I put it in my computer, and then I disseminate my questions accordingly. So thank you so much.
All right, any new business before the board this evening? Any, Freedom of Information requests, as always, are on our website through Mr. Blaney, and there's access to the at vvsd.org. Any announcements by the board?
I don't think it's announcements, it's just comments, because they have at the village meetings, is as Victoria said, that any information that you feel that we have, then come up to us. And so we do represent everybody. I sit on this board after 28 years because there was a white principal at Tibbet who said that there was no representation on our side of Bolingbrook, the ghetto side of BJ Ward and Tibbet. So that's why I sit here, and I heard somebody say it's your heart. So it's the heart, it's not that. And so we do represent all. And somebody else mentioned the fact that if you come up to us, you will find out what my little baby that sits in heaven now, he did go to R.C. Hill, and he did go to Tibbet, and at 6 years old, the Lord took him home. So I have that, and I am a guest teacher over at District 203, and so I have an 8 weeks assignment, because I know it's not easy, as a learning behavior specialist. So I do know some of those cares and concern as well. And as far as our migrants, I won't even tell you because some of that is personal. But if anybody want to hear about that, you can come to me and talk to me about that. And if you want to talk about food and the homeless, food is always in my car, clothes and everything else I stop. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I go down to Lower Wacker once a week, and in the wintertime I go down there every day. So if you want to learn some more stuff about what and then I am praying too that we can come to no strike so that we can come together again. And I believe that we will be meeting very soon so that we can take a look at that and so that we are concerned about, like you say, we are a village. And then we can look at all those statistics. We're talking about the adding of the administration. So we can look at all those things. But come and ask. If there's any question, like Victoria said, we'll come back and give it to you. If you got a pressing question, call. But yeah, because I believe in what I believe in, and I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ, I'm going to tell you that's where my thing is going to start. And I am going to do to others as I would have them to do unto me. And that's all I think we all want to do, and we just need to do it as it's been said. And so let us all come to the table in agreement to do what's best for everybody, not just somebody's, everybody.
Thank you. Anyone else? We are getting back to the table, and we look forward to doing that, and we're doing that this week. We hope to get an agreement in place with all the bargaining units involved. We do not want any interruptions. There is no value to that whatsoever. Everybody up here realizes that. We don't want to harm students. We don't want to harm faculty. We don't want to harm the community. Believe it or not, we do hear you, and we are out in the community. Trust me. Well, I believe we will. Thank you, sir. We want to get something that's just fair to the staff, the entire community as a whole. So we do thank you for your participation and your input. And, I commend you. You guys came out strong, and you've come out strong before, and I hope that we will get there sooner than later. Because, again, it does no one any good for you guys to go on strike, and it certainly doesn't help the students. And it's not a win-win. We don't want that. So appreciate all your comments and all those who come up, and wish you guys a safe travels home, and we'll get through this together. Thank you. Moving down the agenda, are there any announcements by the administration?
Just a quick announcement about bowling teams. I remember one of the first conversations I had with Coach regarding the bowling teams, the first conversation in this role, or one of the first. And as she was talking about it and how proud she was of their accomplishments and wanting to expand it, I knew right then in that moment that there would be an expansion to the program because she was quite excited about it, and it wasn't a matter if, it was a matter of when. So I'm just very happy that this has come to fruition, and we're serving both communities.
If there are no other announcements, have a safe evening, safe travels, and go Bears. Have no idea what the score is. Oh, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you.
See, I have a salad in the refrigerator like this. I brought it with me. I was eating on that's why I was getting it early. I was eating as I was coming over here.
After football practice,
You didn't eat? Look, I have salad in the refrigerator. I have salad. I'm going to get my salad.